in a different place and where it is. Okay. So we'll start standing. So this class on our joints, right? Really focusing in on all of our joints. So feet comfortably under the hips, toes pointed forward, starting with our feet, right? We're going to lift up onto the toes as we take a nice deep breath. So lifting and lowering on the exhale. So nice deep breath, lifting up onto the toes and exhaling back down. One more time. Lift a little higher, maybe stay a little longer. And exhale down. Good. And then we're going to go to our fingers, right? To start with. Now, start by pressing your hands kind of forward and widening your hands, like trying to spread them out as much as you can, your fingers and your hands, which you'll notice they might have a little difficulty on your dominant hand. And then start to really move all your phalanges. So you're going to move the thumb, all the fingers, and kind of start to really move them. Maybe fan them and just as much as you can, spread them wide. Yeah, you might hear some cracking. Good. And then we're going to go to our wrists and our ankles. So for this, you can lift one leg up, whichever one you want to start with. And you're just going to circle your ankle and your wrists, right? Just getting the wrists and this ankle and balancing on one leg. And you can go both directions. Good. And then switch to your other leg. So you'll keep doing your wrist, but go ahead and shift to your other leg, lift it up. And my foot needs to stay on the ground, but I can still work my ankle around. So same thing. Just moving all the wrist, ankle joint that you can get to in both directions. Good. All right, and then go ahead and put that foot down and relax your arms. And now we're going to take our one shoulder, whichever one you want to start with, start to roll it back. And let's go ahead and put our hand just rested on the shoulder. Work that elbow. So lifting and really circle nice and big. And the other direction. Our shoulder joint. And then we'll switch. So go ahead and bring your other elbow, circling it back. Big circle. And the other direction. Breathe. Don't forget to breathe. And now we're going to backstroke. So taking one arm back, and the other. Right? If your elbow needs to bend, that's fine. Let your body just kind of go with the movement. So you're just doing a little rotation side to side. Yourself lean into that circle. Good. And then letting our arms come by our side and coming back to center. You're going to take your head to one shoulder and circle it down and around. And only take your head back as far as you're comfortable, right? So you might not want to take your head too far back, but just circle it more forward and to the side. I like to lift my head a little bit, but not too much, just circling your head. And then let your whole body just start to come into it. So your shoulders and your upper back are going to start to move with that circle of your head. So making it bigger. Arms relaxed. Good. And then when we come up, we'll go the other direction, starting with your head. So take your head the other way. Again, just taking the head back as far as you're comfortable. And then growing that circle by just allowing our shoulders and our upper back to move in that circular motion. Good. That feel good in the morning. And then when you come up, go ahead and widen the legs just a little bit, not too much, and take your hips over to one side and then the other. Okay, so just kind of press that hip side to side. Then taking it into a circle, nice big circle. You want to put your hands on your hips, you can, you don't have to, right? That's just what I'm doing, but just let your hips really circle around. Some big forward side and back side. And then the other direction. So we're moving a lot of joints here. Good. And then coming to center, we'll widen our legs a little more with your toes pointed a little bit out, heels slightly in. You're gonna reach your arms up and stretch overhead on our inhale. And then on our exhale, we're pressing our palms down in front of our chest and lowering into a squat as far as you're comfortable. And sweep your arms, reach up on your inhale, really stretch up, and then press the palms face down in front of you. Bend the knee. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, reach, exhale. This time we're going to go all the way, bring your hands to the ground. Let your knee squat be as deep as is comfortable for you. Bring your hands over to your left foot. You're going to straighten your right leg and then bend your right leg and straighten your left leg. And then keep your hands here as you straighten your right leg, bend your left leg, and then straighten your left leg, bend your right leg. Just shifting your body side to side. And then we'll come back to center with our knees bent and walk over to the right leg, bending that leg, straighten your left leg, and then switch and switch. Hands on the ground. With our knees bent, walking over to the center where we started. Go ahead and stack the spine up. Let your arms relax. Roll up to standing. And we'll bring our legs together. And if you want to use a mat, I'm not using a mat these days because it moves around too much on the carpet. So come to the end of your mat or wherever you want to stand. Inhale. And then on our exhale, roll down and just let your arms be heavy, your shoulders, hopefully your head, knees can bend and straighten a little bit. You can bend one knee and then the other if that feels good to you. Both legs straight. We'll walk our hands out. Tiger down dog. Tailbone. Just letting your body shift around as it wants to. Hopefully letting your head go and your neck. And walking the hands a little farther out, just finding how far your hands want to come away from your feet, maybe into a plank, but you don't have to. Take a couple deep breaths. Good. And then we'll lower down to the ground, bring the knees under us, and come onto our back. with your feet kind of close to your sits bones, rest your hands on the front of your hip bones. And we're going to focus on our sacrum, one of the most important joints of our body, right? So inhaling as you tilt your tailbone a little bit down, letting your back just come a little into that arch. And then as you exhale, rock your tailbone up so you feel your low back on the mat. So we'll start with this movement up and down with the tailbone. Yeah, and just breathe. So inhale, exhale. Relaxing your low back, relaxing your shoulders. Good. And then place the hands on the front of your thighs. And we're going to go up and down, so lift your left hip toward the ceiling as you press your right hand into your right thigh. And then you're going to lift your right hip toward the ceiling as you press your left hand into your left thigh, right? So pressing your hand into your opposite leg, lift that hip straight up, alternating. Yeah, so we're rocking this direction. Good. And then coming to center, we're going to slide the hip bones up and down. So slide your left hip up towards your left rib cage, and then slide your right hip up towards your right rib cage. So now we're on this plane of movement. So just kind of sliding straight up and straight down. Doesn't have to be very big. Just notice how that feels on your low back. Sliding on this sagittal plane. And then we're going to let our arms be by our side, and we're going to make a circle. So we're going to put it all together. You can imagine you have a bowl on your belly, and maybe it has a marble in it. You want to make that marble go around, right? So you're just going to circle, pressing your sacrum into the ground. Nice big circle. Noticing that you're going in all those different directions that we just did, and then reverse your circle. So this is a really good thing to do for your sacrum, for your low back. Anytime you feel like your low back is tight or tense, or you just really need to loosen up that hip area, this is a great thing to do. Okay. And then we're going to come to neutral. Relax and take a nice deep breath. As we exhale, we're going to peel off the mat into a bridge. So one bone at a time. As our hips come up, we'll take our arms over our head, relax them on the ground. Good. Pressing the hips up, relaxing our shoulders. And inhale. And then on our exhale, holding the hips up as we articulate the spine down. As our hips come down, we're going to sweep our arms alongside us to bring them back by our side, and inhale. Exhale, peel off the ground. As our hips come up, our arms go over our head. We inhale and we exhale down and sweep our arms in a circle all the way down by our side. So we're circling our arms with our bridge, right? So exhale all the way up. And then arms go over. And as we exhale down, start to sweep our arms back down by our side. Inhale. Keep going. Exhale up. Nice and fluid. Arms over the head. And as we exhale down, sweep the arms back around. Inhale. Last time, we're going to bridge up on our exhale, and then we're going to bring our arms over our head and relax them on the ground. Keep your hips up. Tilt your left hip a little bit down, lower the hips, scoop it back up. Tilt your right hip a little bit, lower down and scoop it up. And tilt, lower and scoop and press up. Tilt, lower, scoop and press up. So you're making a figure 8 with your hips, right? We're thinking of that infinity or figure 8 with our hips, circling around and back up. Good, and breathe. And then next time your hips come up, go ahead and press them up. Good. Exhale down, one vertebra at a time. And then when your hips come down, slide your arms wider so they're kind of out from the shoulders. Sway your legs over to the left, keeping your right shoulder on the ground. Take a breath. Good. And then lift and sway them over to the right. And breathe. And lift the knees. And then we're going to sway them over to the left again. Straighten your right leg. And you're going to sweep that right leg down and bend it as you bring both knees back. So think of a circle with that leg. Take your legs to the right, straighten your left leg, and sweep it down and draw your knees back to where you started. Keep going. Over to the left, straighten the right leg, and sweep it down, rocking back onto your hips, bending the knees in. And then over to the right, sweep it down and bring it around. So nice flowing motion of our legs and hips. Over to the right. Good, two more. Good. And then when you come back to center, your hips down, your knees up, sweep your arms down to grab hold of your right leg, holding onto the shins. Stretch your left leg long. Stretch your legs away from each other. Curl up to your knee, head to knee. Good. Relax your head down. Draw that left leg in and switch, reaching your right leg long. And curl up to that knee. You're going to stay up and draw the right knee in. So we've got both legs. Hold them, pull them in. Put your hands behind your head. And lower head and shoulders down. Good. Inhale here. As we exhale, we're going to curl up and try to bring the knees toward the head a little bit more. And then relax your head and shoulders down. Nice deep breath. Exhale, curl up. Really try to lift your tailbone off the ground. And then relax head and shoulders down. Good. So on our exhale, we press head and shoulders up. Bring knees toward head. Curling into a ball. And relaxing down. Good. And then just go ahead and release your head. Put your hands on your knees, one on each knee. And you're going to pull your knees towards you and open them apart and away and back in. So we're stirring our legs in opposite circles. Relax your femur, your big leg bone. Yeah. Circle. And then relax. Good. Circle the other direction. So take them down and out and in. Way and out and in. Good. And then when you bring your knees in, clasp your hands behind your head and then press your head and shoulders up. And now we're going to do that without using our hands. Knees away, knees circle around and in. Knees away, circle around and in. Opposite directions. Breathe. Good. When you bring your knees in, reverse your direction. Away and back. Open, away and back. Great. Next time your knees come in, relax your head and shoulders down. Keep your legs together. Bring your hands on your legs and now keep your legs together and circle them to one side and around. So we're circling, but in the same direction. Both legs go the same way. So it's a little different mobility working of the hip, right? Working the hip mobility just a little differently. And then reverse your circles. Relax your hips. And then when you bring your knees in, again, clasp the hands behind our head and press up. Same thing, bring your knees over to one side and around, circling them in one direction. Breathe. And the other direction. Good. And then next time our knees come in, lay your head and shoulders down. Extend your arms out from your shoulders. Take your legs over to one side. Try to keep your opposite shoulder down. And you might want to lift your legs one at a time to bring them back up and take them over to the other side. So maybe you come all the way to the ground, maybe you don't. And then lift them maybe one at a time. It's a little easier to bring them back to the top. Now straighten your legs to the ceiling. Now you can have your knees as bent as they need to be. They don't have to be straight. And we're going to open our left leg out and down to the ground, and then bring your right leg over to it. And then lift your right leg up, lift your left leg up, and then take your right leg out and down. Move my body. And your left leg follows. And then lift your left leg and then your right leg. So we're fanning our legs. Let's say, take them to the left one at a time. Lift them up one at a time. Take them to the right. Good, side to side. Hopefully keep your shoulders on the ground. And then once you've brought your legs back to the top, go ahead and grab hold of your right leg behind your leg. Put your left foot on the ground. And you're going to give this leg a stretch. And you can either keep your left leg bent or you can straighten it long, whatever you need to do or whatever feels right for you, right? Give this right leg a stretch. You can move your foot. Great. You can curl up to your knee if you want, whatever feels good to stretch that leg. And then we're going to do some circles. So you can just let your arms come out from your shoulders and take the leg across, down, around, and back to the top. Nice big circles. Again, your knee can be bent, of course, if it needs to be, or whatever your body, whatever works for your body to do this, right? So that you're not like straining your quadriceps or your back at all. And then we're going to reverse at the top. So you want to just take them the other way a few times. Relaxing the shoulders. And then once your leg comes to the top, go ahead and reach up to grab your foot. So bend your knee and grab your foot. So you're going to, like you're lunging on your back, right? Sole of the foot to the ceiling. Pull that knee down. Really stretch your left leg long. So you're going to pull your knee down towards your armpit, toward the ground. Yeah. And then just let your lower leg relax. Hug your knee in. Draw your left leg in, put your right foot down, and straighten that leg. Again, you can either keep your right leg bent as much as it wants to or straighten it, whatever feels good to you or works for you. Just stretch your leg here. Move the foot. You can come up and stretch, right? Just a good Monday stretch, right? Move the ankle and the foot. We are here. And then we'll do some circles. So arms can come out by your side and take that leg across, sweep it down, around, and back to the top. You can have your standing leg be bent or your working leg, but whatever feels right for your body. Nice big circles. Relaxing the shoulders. And then when your leg comes to the top, you can reverse your circles. Out, down, and across, and up. Really breathe with this one, right? And then when our leg comes to the top, we're going to bend the knee a little bit to grab hold of that foot. Pull the knee down. Really stretch your right leg long so we can lunge on our back on this side. Now go ahead and draw your right leg in, and then we're going to bring both legs up together. If you want to have them bent, great. You want to have them straight, whatever feels right for your body. Arms out. And now we're going to take both legs to the side, circle them around to the other side, and bring it back to the top. And then you might like to just reverse your circles, alternate your circles. That's the way I like to do this one. And just alternating our circles, making them as big as feels right for your body. Breathe. You can also move your arms down more if that's more comfortable or helpful for you. And then when your legs come to the top, go ahead and bend your knees, reach in and grab hold of your feet. So happy baby, either on the inside or the outside of your feet. Pull the knees down. You rock your body a little side to side. It's a good stretch for the sacrum and the inner legs, the inner thigh and groin area, especially. And then we'll come to center, bring our feet towards each other, maybe together if they will. Press your elbows into your knees to open your hips. You can just kind of press the hips open more. And then hold on to your left foot, stretch your right arm and leg long, flexing the foot, big stretch. Bring your right side together, stretch your left leg and arm away from each other, big side stretch. And then both arms and both legs, just gonna reach through one side and then the other, letting your body rock up and down. Good. Oh, that always feels so good. Oh. And then relax, bend your knees to bring your feet on the ground. Sweep your arms down, curl up. If you want, you can grab your legs to help you come up to sitting. Great. And when we come up to sitting, we always start with a little forward fold. So lift your sits bones just because it feels good to stretch over the legs after that. Just relax over your legs for a moment. And then we'll lift up and create a diamond with our legs, right? So the feet together out away from your hips. And you can just hold on to your legs wherever your hands go. We're going to start by reaching forward, our chest forward as we look forward. And then we're going to relax down and we're going to curl our tailbone under and around, come back up. So undulating our spine, right? So you're going to reach your chest forward and then release head and round back up. Yeah, so nice wave-like motion with our spine. forward, and then when you come back up, you're going to reverse that. So you're going to curl the tailbone, round the back, side forward, and lift the torso all the way up. Good. So just reversing your circle really with our spine. Up. Feel good in your low back. Good. And when you come up to sitting, go ahead and bring your hands out from your shoulders, and then just bring one arm to the ceiling. We're going to anchor our sits bones as we stretch over to that side. And big stretch, pressing your hip into the ground, and then lift up. And the other arm, right, pressing our hips into the ground, big stretch over to that side. And lift up. And again, back to our first side. We're going to take it over to the side and then rotate to point your chest down. Circle your arms all the way out around to the other side and lift up. Reverse over to the other side. Turn to face down. Sweep the arms around and lift up. So we're keeping these nice flowing circles, letting our spine move side to side. Over, your chest down, sweep around. And then when you come up to sitting, lift both knees, hands behind your thighs, lift the spine, inhale, exhale, curl back just about halfway or till your arms are straight. And then inhale, exhale, pull yourself up. Inhale, lift, exhale, round back. Inhale, exhale, up. Releasing our arms forward, inhale, exhale, round back just about halfway. Stay here. Take your arms over to one side, sweep them around and lift up like you're scooping something over to the other side. If it feels better to have your legs together, just bring your legs together. Go ahead and just go side to side, kind of leaning back as you start to scoop and lifting as you scoop up. Lean back as you start to scoop and then lift up a little bit. Rounding back and lifting up. Rounding back and lifting up. Moving in that figure 8 with our shoulders and our arms. Hanging out here. Oh yeah, all day. And breathe. Good. When you come to center, go ahead and stay there and lift yourself up. Straighten the legs. Take a big stretch. And then we're going to do a little rolling up and down. So you can have your legs bent or straight, or let them do what they want. And we're going to go all the way down. Take our arms over our head. Inhale. Sweep your arms around, lifting your head and shoulders and coming back up. You might like to take a stretch in between and then lift and exhale down and bringing our arms over. Sweep them around, lifting the head and shoulders. Exhale back up. Great. And let's go around the world. So you're just going to take your torso slightly over to the left, your arms and your torso just a little bit. You're going to go down that side of the spine, bring your arms around, and we're coming up on the right side. It's very little tilt to the side, and then stretch over, and then tilt over to the right a little bit, and take it down, and around, and exhale at the left side. Again, your legs can bend or be straight, whatever feels right for you. And again, over to the left, and we sweep down, arms over, inhale, exhale up the right side, and center. And then one more time, take it to the right, 4 trips around the world. And over to the left. And center. Take a big stretch over your legs. Right. Now we're going to come up and bring ourselves to our side. So whatever side you want to start with, stack your legs and, lining the heels up with the tailbone and this loose bend, torso straight. Good. And we'll start by doing clams. So we're just going to open that top knee, right? Pressing your top heel into your bottom heel and close. Maybe you can do a little tiny bit of a lift of your waist while you're doing that. So lift and lower and lift and lower. Now lift your whole leg and lower and lift. Not rolling back, just however high it goes. And lift. Good. And then when you lower, bring your leg behind you, keeping your knee in that same position. Really pull your knee back. Right. Press your hip forward. And then sweep your leg forward and back. So we're just going to swing it. Swing, forward, swing, back. Yeah. And then next time we swing back, you might just circle it up and around to the front and back, up and around, as slow or as quickly as it feels right for your hip. Right? As big as it feels right for your hip. And then when we go back, we reverse. We go forward and lift up and around. Unless that's uncomfortable, you can just stay with one direction. Good. And next time the legs meet, go ahead and relax your leg down for a moment, just let it rest, and then straighten that leg long. You're going to draw your leg back. Now it's straight. Pull it back, and then kick forward and reach back. Kick and reach. Inhale and exhale. Good. Next time you reach back, stay there and reach your top arm away from your leg. Big stretch. And then we're going to lift our arm, lift our leg, and switch. Follow your arm back. And then lift the arm, lift the leg up, and switch and reach forward as you reach your leg back. And again, lift up, and arm goes back, leg goes forward. That's a nice stretch. You can linger there if you want. Lift up and switch. You can hang out in any of these positions and switch. And lift and switch. Reach forward. Good. And then bring your legs together. Bring your hand down. Relax your legs. Use your top hand to press yourself up to your elbow. So we're elbows under our shoulder. And you might want to straighten your top leg. Lift this arm up, this top arm, lifting our ribs. Good. And then just rounding through, we'll thread the needle, stretch through that, underneath that arm, and then lift up again. And if you want to add the hips, lift the hips up. Inhale and exhale, rounding through. Good. Inhale, lift, but you can keep your hips down if you prefer, and round on your exhale. Inhale, lift, and exhale through. And inhale, lift, and we'll lower our hips, come all the way up. And just let your legs be bent by your side. And take a little side stretch. And then lift up, and we'll just cross the top leg over the bottom leg for a little hip stretch. So if you want to stack your legs and fold forward or come into a little figure 4 stretch of some sort, sitting or on your back, or all right. And then we'll come up out of that one and come on to our other side. So knees in that half bend and knees are stacked. Lay down on your arm. Might lift the waist just a little bit, pressing our top heel into our bottom heel to open that knee up and close. Press open and close. Open and close. Then the whole leg can just lift open and close. Open. So you're really opening the hip as much as you can without rolling back, right? Open. Yeah. And then when we close, we're going to pull the knee back and press the hips forward. And then swing the leg forward, back. Breathe. So the knee stays in the same position. It's all about the hip. And then next time we swing back, we can add a circle to that by lifting it up and around. Pull it back and lift it up and around. Breathe. Again, whatever pace feels right for you. Right. And then next time we pull it back, we can reverse our circle if that's comfortable for you. I know it's a little more awkward to go in this direction. All of these things that we're doing are all related, so they're all interchangeable, right? They're doing the same basic thing. Good. And next time your legs come together, you can let them rest. Just let your top leg rest for a moment and then stretch it long and pull that leg back. Press your hip forward and then swing forward and back. Inhale and exhale. The leg is nice and straight now. Nice big kick. Next time we bring it back, we stay there and reach our arm forward, really stretch. And then arm and leg both lift up and we switch. Follow the arm back. And you can linger in the stretch as much as you want and then lift up and switch again. And lift and switch. Lift. Yeah. So we're twisting, nice twisting going on here. And then next time we reach our arm forward, our leg back, you can let your legs relax together, bend and relax together. Go ahead and press yourself up to your elbow. And you might want to straighten your top leg. It's really up to you what you prefer. Lift that arm up, lift the ribs, and dive through. And then we can add the lifting of the hips if you want as you inhale. Exhale, dive through. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, dive through. Good, and breathe. Oh, yeah, that's easy. Next time you lift up, go ahead and lower your hips, lower everything, and come up to sitting with your legs bent next to you, mermaid or whatever works. Take a side bend here. I'm definitely much more aware that one side of your body can be different than the other. Because mine's very different on one side than the other. So find what works for you. Good. And then we'll do a hip stretch. So come up and cross this leg over and find a stretch for this hip. Can be stacking the legs. I wonder if I can do that on this side. Sometimes I can. There we go. All right, and then we'll come on to our all fours next. Okay. And find your, if you want padding under anything, go ahead and grab it. And we're going to start by curling our tailbone under, rounding and pressing our hips back. And then we're going to let our elbows bend as we snake through and lower down. And lift up. And we're going to circle our spine, rounding and press back and lower down and snake through and lift up. Kind of circling our spine down and up. Then we'll, at the top, we'll reverse. So you can look forward, lower your chest down, snake back to your hips and round up. And kind of shift the body a little bit forward past the arms if you can, right? And then pull that rounded spine. So down. Good. And next time we come up to the top, we're going to just circle our hips. So circle as big as you can and just let your whole body go with that movement. So we kind of spiral our body, right? The ribs go opposite of the hips. Let your head go. And then reverse your circles. Yeah, so spine's going in all kinds of directions here. And then go ahead and bring yourself to center. Bring your right foot up between your hands. Stretch your left leg behind you in a lunge. And you're just going to rock back and into the lunge. And back and into the lunge. Do a little rock first. That's good for our hips. And then we can stay in the lunge for a moment. Hold on to your right leg with your right hand and turn and look over your right shoulder. And if you want to extend your arm out behind you, you can. And we'll return to one hand on either side of our foot. And just lean back, belly on your thigh. And we'll bring that leg under us. Bring your left foot forward. One hand on either side of your foot and rock in and back. Just do a little rocking motion. You can kind of stay in the lunge for a little bit here, looking forward, letting the hip relax. And then bring your left hand to the outside of your leg, look behind your left shoulder. And if you want, extend the arm or not. Let's twist for our low back, letting our right hip drop. And coming back, one hand on either side of the foot. And just lean back, straightening your left leg. Relax over that leg. Moment. Bring that leg back underneath. We'll come onto our belly and sphinx, so elbows under the shoulders. If you'd like to have a folded up blanket or something, or underneath your chest, have it there. With our palms down, we're going to slowly straighten the arms. So you might adjust your hands and your arms a little bit here. And then look at your belly, look down, rounding our upper back. And look forward, pressing into the ground. Good. And then just looking down between your hands. You're going to turn and look over your left shoulder. Like somebody's calling you, right, from that side. And then come back and look over your right shoulder. And back to center. Good. And then let yourself lower down and draw your elbows in toward the waist, hands under the shoulder. Good. And we're going to lift our head and chest up and then hover your arms. So hover high. This is where you might like a bolster under your chest. And then reach one arm overhead and pull that elbow back in. Reach the other arm and pull it back in. Reach. Just hovering over the ground. Reach and pull in. Reach and in. And then we're going to reach whatever arm is reaching. Bring your other arm alongside your body. You can do like a helicopter. You're going to sweep the arms and change them. And just turn and look toward the hand that's reaching toward your foot. Sweep the arms. See if you can really stay lifted here. Switch. And switch. The main thing is that we're lifting our body off the ground, right, to strengthen our back and our spine. Good. And then we're going to bring both elbows back in. So draw your elbows in towards your waist and lower down. Good. And then we'll do some back extension. So lift your head and chest, press your hands into the ground, coming up as high as you're comfortable, and lower back. Again, or lift up, press into the hands, and lower back down. And lengthen up, press into the hands, and lower back down. And this time we'll continue to come all the way up to the knees and stretch back to our heels. All right, I'm gonna come around to sitting. We're gonna do a little fun sort of uh, flowing kind of teaser exercise here. So go ahead and sit with your hands behind your thighs. And we're gonna inhale here. As we exhale, we're gonna round back. As you start to come back, you're gonna lift your legs up with you, right? Bring them in. Inhale. As you exhale, press your legs into your hands to roll yourself up. It's a roll up with your legs in the air. Inhale, exhale, roll them down. Draw your knees in. Inhale, exhale, press your legs into your hands to roll up. And if you can, straighten your legs, but you don't have to. You can keep them bent. Roll back down. See how graceful we can be? Pull it in. Just use your hands, right? Use your hands to come up and come back down. And breathe. You can bring your head all the way to the ground if you want. But next time we come up, we'll stay up. So go ahead and bring yourself up to your teaser and then bring your feet down and come around to sitting. So let's straddle the legs to start with and then bring your left foot into your right leg, thigh, wherever it'll go. Arms out, sitting tall. We're going to rotate to the right and stretch your left hand toward your right foot. And then lift up, come to center, rotate to the left, and that left hand comes down, and we're going to stretch back. And lower down, and around to center, lifting tall, rotate to the right, stretch across. And lift up, nice and tall, rotate to the left, and stretch back. And one more time, rotate over to stretch toward that foot. Up and rotate to the back and lift, arch back. Good. And lower down and stretch your left leg out, right foot in. Wherever it'll go. Rotate to the left, stretch across for that left foot. Lift up. Inhale, rotate to the right, exhale back. And lower down. Good. And around to the left, stretch. Nice and tall, and then rotate back. And one more time. Over to that foot, stretch across. Up and breathe. And lower down and come up to sitting. You can bring both legs into a diamond and just stretch over your legs, reaching past your feet if you can. Wherever your hands go, stretch over your legs. Knees relaxed. Good. And come up. All right. Thank you for coming. We lost a few. Let's see.